In studying criminal justice, I had done somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 hours of ride readiness as internships over summers. I was working in the south side of Chicago in one of the suburbs, and a cop that I know, at the time I didn't know that well, but the guy's like 6'4", 240 pounds, like 5% body fat, just a beast of a human being. We rode for several days together, and every time we passed this Marine monument, he'd salute it. One day, we get into a pursuit. We go past that at like 90 miles an hour through an intersection, and he's still saluting. Now I understand, once a Marine, always a Marine. And this guy went from a very stoic, very just, I couldn't get the guy to laugh, nothing, to all of a sudden he kind of opened up a little bit after that and told me about his experience with the Marines and how important it was, and more importantly, how a lot of the people that he served with and he was deployed with did not come back the same. After starting a few companies, I realized that diversification in investment is important. And so I found a plot of land and I bought 60 acres. I had officially completed all my investments for Fulcrum Investing. I said, okay, I got to figure out something else to do. That's where I continue to say it was good for the pocketbook, but not for the soul. I told myself, if I could help veterans, I would. I said, how can I help these people as a farm owner? We both were sitting down talking, and I'm like, well, what if we can just give food to veterans? How can we do that? And then Mike said, why don't we just donate everything?
We had many conversations that kind of led to, we're going to transition 100% to donating everything that we produce to veterans.
But we still didn't have a place to source veterans in need, how to validate whether they're in need or not.
One of the first things we had to figure out was, okay, how are we going to donate? Then it was just all the research of who could even take farm fresh food.
I was asked many times in kind of a sarcastic manner, well, why are you doing this when you can just buy packaged goods?
A lot of them would not take anything perishable at all. How are you doing that? Who's funding it? So it's a farm that just grows stuff? Why aren't you selling it to the public?
I kept going back to the concept of these are whole foods. This is better than organic.
If we were to take a grocery store egg and one of our eggs and crack them on a plate, you would absolutely be able to tell the difference.
We provide every animal access to indoor and outdoor space that is massive compared to farms. And they're not going out on dirt, they're going out on grass. And they're going and eating plants and eating bugs and doing all the things that animal is supposed to do.
The mission has always been to give these animals the best life ever. Because we're doing all these little things to improve their lives, we get a better product at the end.
They were like, yeah, absolutely. We have a veterans program. We can take the donations. We're like, great. We found it. We found our partner. However, that turned out not to be the complete case.
For the first 3 months we were donating, it was not going to veterans in need. It was going to anyone that wanted it.
We're seeing our food being distributed to people, and we're like, oh, thank you for your service. Why would you say that? We're not a veteran.
And I saw people in luxury cars taking hundreds of dollars of our food. Well, that's not a person in need, and that's not a veteran. So how does this work?
To find out that they weren't fulfilling our mission, it felt defeating. So that's when the search resumed to find a new partner. Somebody was like, hey, did you ever reach out to the Hope Manor in Joliet? We're interested, but we don't know how it's gonna work.
And so we went back to them, and to Michelle's great credit, she came with the idea of getting them fridges and freezers. They were like, oh wait, you'll do this? Like, you'll buy freezers? Yes, of course we'll do this.
Once we got into that first location, they actually approached us and said, we have 2 other locations in Chicago. All of them house veterans. Can we expand to them?
And once we saw that we could do it in Joliet,
Good to see you. All right, we got some more eggs.
and then in the south side of Chicago, and then in Chicago proper, we're like, oh wait, this does work. This can work.
I appreciate you guys coming out. I eat them every day.
Really?
Every day.
That's why you stay so fit.
They brought us some sausage too.
Getting in there and meeting people and shaking people's hands and talking with, the people that are getting these products from us.
In Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, 2 different navies.
It was really just like eye-opening and unbelievable.
To be able to not just help veterans in the Chicagoland area, but all over the nation. Now, I mean, we're literally talking about impacting thousands.
I can't help them get through like a PTSD situation. I can't help them find a house. But what I can do is really put all my effort into creating these like awesome food products for them because they do deserve it.
These are the people that fought for our freedom, and this food is grown for them, and they're not an afterthought. It's specifically meant to go to veterans.
It's very hard to think about people that we really respect being injured and hurt and in pain. And so I think the best thing we can do for veterans is to think about them every day. Maybe we need to take on just a minor amount of struggle that these people go through every day for this amazing commitment they gave, because at the end of the day, without them, we would not have a free and prosperous country.